Dude, it's finally time. We got us the Louisville Slugger Genesis. New in wrapper, mind you. I've been dying to try this thing out. I know Brian has too. He's over there hiding because the camera's running. I've been dying to try one of these things out. Finally glad to get the chance to do it. The year's not over, so let's get it in. This thing is new in wrapper, 27 ounce. Just threw it on the tester. We'll do all our lab stuff like normal. Then we're going to put some swings on it. We'll throw it back on the tester and see what we get here.
So getting things started here, it was almost a bust, I'm not going to lie. It was pretty rough. Anytime I did anything was just right off the end of the bat. I couldn't tell if it was me just being excited and over swinging or what it was, but when I have that struggle, I usually go back out the box with a few just to get myself kind of dialed back in and settle in a little bit. And I noticed right away the difference when I was able to put a barrel on a few, but for whatever reason, it was all back up the middle or towards the right center gap. Very seldom was I able to pull a ball and put a good swing on it. After kind of messing with it a little bit more, it was definitely just, I think, a case of the 27 ounce just being a bit on the lighter side. I personally would go up an ounce in this. Brian rode the same struggle bus that I did, to the point that he didn't even want his swings put in the video. He gets aggravated with something and he gives up on it pretty quick, and that was the case with this one. He did say that he liked how the barrel performed. He just didn't want to sit there and try and fight, get dialed in for this bat, knowing he had a tournament coming that weekend and needed to get swings in for that. And just real quick, for those of you who may not have heard about the hype for this thing, this is a One-Piece Composite Bat with, I believe, what is a 12-inch barrel. There's really nothing listed. I couldn't find anything on it. It is approved for USSSA, NSA, and ISA play. And for the video here, we're hitting pretty much anything. We got some 52s, we got some 44s. There's a few platinum dots in there, BP rockets. Once again, this was a deal where Ross just said, hit whatever you want with it. So we did. Now, I will say that it did take me just about a full round here to really get dialed in and comfortable with this thing, just getting adjusted to the weight. And with the hype this thing was getting, I wanted to make sure I gave it a fair shake. So I ended up putting a second round on this bat on a different day. So I'm going to kind of use that as a good breaking point to head over to the labs real quick, and then we'll head back to the field and let you know what I think of this thing once I get settled in with it.
It's actually one of the best full swings I've seen.
So on a scale, this one came in at 26.4, maybe starting to venture towards the lighter side of things, which could be why I kind of felt like I struggled with it being a little bit light. And here's a compression while it was still new in the wrapper. And after this day BP and the second round that you're going to see here soon, we're right at the 230 mark. And I wasn't bashful about what I hit with this thing. So again, just like the Z1K video I just did, to see the abuse these things you can get and still pass compression is impressive. And just taking a quick look up and down the barrel of this thing, it's looking pretty decent. There's a couple spots here that I'll cover when we get done looking at the other side. I just want to talk about, and I think probably part of what we're going to see when we get to that point is just a harder ball and a colder temp, because I really haven't seen or read anything with these having any kind of paint issues. So I'm just going to attribute it to a little bit of a cooler temp and hitting some harder balls. But I do 100% feel this is cosmetic. This is not anything structural at all with this bat. I do not think it's anywhere near cracking or breaking. Just a little bit of paint action going on, probably from what we put it through. And even then, this isn't a huge deal. I've seen bats do way worse with less swings. And coincidentally enough, we get another bat here with some webbing on it that I was speaking of in the last video. And it's even harder to spot on this one. If you look really close, you can see it through the white graphics there. But otherwise, nothing to even speak of. And again, for those that don't want to go back and look, just a little bit of like spider webbing is just fine cracks in the paint where the paint has been flexing. When the barrel flexes, when you hit a ball with it, not a huge deal at all. Just the perfect kind of sheen and paint combo can show this stuff, and that's what this one has done. Lab stuff done. Back to the field. All right, so I'm not going to BS around here. I'm just going to get straight to the point. This bat was freaking sick. I'm so glad I got a chance to try one. Been reading all the hype. Had a chance to have one coming for quite a few times this year, and it finally worked out that I was able to get one. And I'm so freaking glad I did. I usually don't buy into internet hype and brand loyalist hype, you might say. You know, where, you get guys that are really big fans of a specific brand that push a bat really, really hard, saying it's the hottest thing they've ever swung. But I can no doubt tell you that this was probably top 1 or 2 best performing Louisvilles I've ever swung. The only thing that might be better would be an old Z2000 reissue. God, I can't remember what year that was. What was that? 2012, 2013, something like that. That's probably the best Louisville I've ever swung, and this slides in at a very close second. And another thing that I really enjoyed about this is the fact that I really enjoy the Sonic Plus, which has really gained a lot of traction here as Louisville's slowly gotten back on the map and guys are looking for BP bats. The Sonic Plus has come up for a lot of people, and I felt that this bat swung pretty similar to that as far as feel and feedback and that kind of thing goes, but it did need more ass in it. The Sonic Plus is pretty sludgy, and I felt like this thing could have used, really and honestly, another full ounce of end load on top of what was already there. Usually I'll kind of knock and ding on a bat for the weighting being kind of off, but everything else about this thing was so right that I would just move up an ounce and not even think twice about it. That is kind of my message here is, personally, I would go up an ounce for sure. I play with a friend of mine that lives and dies by 25s, any chance he can get one, and even he said his 25 was light. I would even consider this at a 30 ounce. You get a little more of a heavier feel. So all in all, the message here is, if you like Louisvilles, if you like one-piece bats, if you like the Sonic Plus, if you don't like any of those, I don't give a damn. If you find one for a good price, try it out. That's the thing. Don't overpay. I'm not going to encourage you to overpay for anything. I don't care the brand. I don't care how much hype it gets. Do not overpay for a bat. And this is included in that. If you can find it for a good price, you got to try one out. And yes, Mr. Louisville, you're hearing this right. Another bat the BP Hero liked that's got the Louisville Slugger brand. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Big, huge thanks to Ross for sending this out so I could check it out. Really, really glad I got to swing this thing this year. A couple more reviews coming, and then we're going to get the best of 2020 video rolling out. So be sure and hit the subscribe button to catch up with that when it comes out. And I'll see you guys in the next video.
Oh, that was so ugly.
Shit on your head. Little adjustment there. I like this. I got 5.
Turned over into the gap.
Listen.
See? She's not there.